you're saying is, in 3 dimensions, it could be optimal for particles to get together and make molecules, and molecules to make macroscopic objects. If you add a 4th dimension, you're adding a degree of freedom of where things can hang out and possibly never then find each other.
Yeah,
ever
it could
again.
be ways. There are reasons that people start to suspect that there are extra spatial dimensions and that they are not only finite, but really technically really small. Like that journey to go all the way around them is something that would happen incredibly quickly, and it's too small for us to like literally stick our hands in that direction. So think of like a straw is a good example where it's a 2-dimensional surface. So a straw is small in one direction on the surface, right? If you think there's a direction in which it's totally wrapped up and small. And then there's a long direction.
So straws are mostly long.
They're mostly long. And you could glue the top end to the bottom end of a straw to make that long direction also finite. So then you dip travel around the line. It could be really big. It could be, mile around, but still be connected. But it's only a few millimeters around in this direction. So then the question we start to ask is, what if the universe is a kind of space-time origami when it's created in the Big Bang, that all the dimensions are wrapped up in maybe in very complicated ways, like the dimension of the straw being wrapped up, but one dimension just gets very, very big, or in our case, 3. Very, very big. We have 3 big dimensions. We have time, which is a 4th. So we know there's up, down, north, south, east, west. That's it. You specify those things and you definitely know where you are in space. You specify time and we can actually meet. Here we are. But those extra directions just maybe didn't ever expand. And so one of the things even that I'll work on and string theorists will work on is why would only 3 dimensions get large if those other dimensions exist? Some people argue that the reason why the universe is 3-dimensional is because the universe tries to be many different ways. Like, well, there may have been an infinite number of Big Bangs in the past and the future. Can't really talk about it in temporal relativeness, but if the universe created a 2-dimensionally large universe with all the rest rolled up and small, you couldn't have organisms in that universe to ask the questions.
Wow.
So you'd need at least 3. And then let's say you had 4 spatial dimensions. Then you have the problem of things drift away from each other in such a way that it's hard to have organized systems. So just like Neil was describing, a 2-dimensional creature isn't aware of the 3rd dimension, but if they became aware, they could just kind of float away from their city. You have more volume of space to fill.